God knows I know that feeling.
Racism.
Yes, racism for everyone. You're a racist. You're a racist. You're a racist.
Chad knows the feeling of wanting to quit, and I know the feeling of racism.
I'd like to say another feeling of racism. White man keeping me down. So let's first talk with the ACH thing because he's quit, and practically every black veteran is like, "You did this to yourself, young blood." And I don't know if that's fair. I don't know if it's not fair. I'm scared to have an opinion on the topic. I know that if this was a T-shirt instant issue with me, I would handle it privately and just be done with it. When you have 43,000 people saying, yeah, we have complete control over what shirts get released. And ACH going, I had no control. I don't know if I should disbelieve him, but, like, also, I don't know if I should. And then you bring in the fact that he's, what's the crazy? That doesn't help either. He got a screw loose. And as a man who has a few himself, I can understand how that could be a bit of a problem.
Like you're missing the pickles off his Popeye chicken sandwich.
I don't know what that means, but I think it has a point. I still have yet to try Popeyes, by the way. The only one by me is
Yeah.
like 25 minutes away. I want to. I'm so lazy.
I, I'm not carpooling for a sandwich. I'm sorry.
Right? Like, all right, it's in the same area as the best pizza in the county, nay, the country. I'll carpool for that because it's the best goddamn pizza you'll ever have. But on the off chance that Popeyes isn't as good as the spicy chicken sandwich from Wendy's, which is 34 seconds from my house, like, that's gonna be a 50 fucking minute drive. That's just gonna be pissing me off. I just munching on the chicken, going, I've had better.
That's a 50-some minute drive plus the wait if there's a line. If they're not sold out.
Right?
Or they're doing that thing where, due to inflation, or whatever the excuse is, now we only serve them from 11 to 11:35.
We're only serving from 11 to 11:00:00:05. Can I get a chick? Oh, sorry, we stopped selling them about a 15th of a second ago. God damn it. Every time! So, ACH has formally requested a release and has informally or formally quit the WWE. He's got a 3 to 5 year deal, so, good luck with that. I think the sad thing is I think he realized that this place wasn't going to be as fun as he thought it was. And that kind of compounded on things because there's a lot of people in that company who aren't white, who don't have the same problems he has. Hell, look at Mia Yim. She's Korean and black. She's Black Ian. She's Korlak? It sounds more like a Star Trek villain. I am Korlak
Yeah.
of the Klingon Empire.
Shall we begin, Chad? Like, no, that's not your line.
Shall we begin? No, you're a Klingon, goddammit. Moktuk. There it is. I'm pretty sure that's a Klingon slur, but whatever. Let's just get into it. So the whole ACH thing is going to have a lot of people divided because it's a very divisive time period. You got people throwing helmets at other people. You got other people signing Carmelo Anthony at 35 to play small forward on a team that needs defense. Whatever. I don't know. Things are weird. The biggest star in MMA is some 34-year-old journeyman named George. I don't know either. The world's fucking weird, Marcus. I can't handle it anymore. Everything's so goofy. So ACH might be done with the company. Whether you agree with him or not, I think, Marcus, it's fair to say that the entire ordeal has been a shit show. Would that be fair to say? Or do you think I'm reaching on that one? Marcus has gone quiet. I must have offended him finally.
Say that last point.
There he is.
Cut out right there.
The ACH stuff, whether you agree with his methodology or not, I think it's fair to say that the entire ordeal has been a shit show. Would that be fair to say, or do you think I'm reaching on that one?
No, absolutely. Even if this was his um course from the beginning, once he kind of went on his verbal spewing, if you will, on Twitter, if his goal was always quit, he could have did really did the whole thing in a better way. Like we talked about it before, this kind of felt like a build up of things. And again, no two people had the same experience, in a job setting or with people. Um, and certain things that get done or said just might completely rub him the wrong way, or again, things reminded him way too much of past places he's been, or something within him was just waiting on one more thing for him to pop. And um, I think there's just an instance when it comes to that shirt of he's done that. Um, I'm gonna let this roll off my shoulder when I should have stood up for it. Thing happened one too many times,
Mm-hmm.
and problems elsewhere, and it's a thing. But racism. I mean, look, we talked in nauseam about the stuff that's going on in WWE. But I mean, he was down in NXT in an environment where you got Bianca Belair, like you said, Mia Yim,
Keith Lee.
Limitless, Limitless Keith Lee. Not too long ago, the freaking the Street Profits. Big E was a champion. Like that's probably one of the most diverse rosters the company has. When you look up and down it and stuff, and uh, like I said, that's not take away from the legitimacy of anything that he may or may have not experienced. But there is a way to go about things, specifically when, like you said, when he signed a 3 to however many year contract. It's a lot of ways this company can f him now,
Yeah.
with prejudice, because they try to, they've mended fences with a lot of people, but over the past however many years they've shown this resolve to not let a lot of people go, and these are people who haven't even come out to verbally spit on them. So, I wish the guy the best of luck, man. But there are a lot of ways he could have handled this better, and it sucks that a lot of veterans of the same particular race have come out and said the same thing.
Yeah, you wish that these things would be more well handled so that the solidarity could be a lot easier. Just a quick point of reference, because I think it's a unique perspective, or at least it falls in line with the same ideal. You look at what was going on yesterday with the whole Colin Kaepernick workout thing, and you see today a lot of people of the same race chastising him for the way he went about it with that last second change of venue, which just hurt his chances of getting looked at by more teams, because a lot of teams couldn't reschedule it in time because it was done on an hour. It was done an hour before the whole thing was supposed to begin, and a lot of people took him to task. And you want, when a situation occurs, like, I'm as anti-establishment as it comes. I'm pretty much a big fan of tearing down, big business. I'm not a big believer in monopolies. Disney scares the hell out of me. So anytime that a company like the WWE or even the NFL gets taken to the woodshed, I'm smiling like a Cheshire cat. But there are times when it needs to be done authentically and when it needs to be done with the right intent. And I feel like specifically with the ACH stuff, I don't really see the warrant or the merit. And I'm usually the guy quick to the let's take the stick to the WWE. I'm very much that guy. And I take that stick very proudly and very often. I look for many of things. The Kofi Kingston title reign, Randy Orton's 16 years there, John Cena being all man whore backstage, Seth Rollins and his perpetual motion Nazi-loving dick. There's a lot of shit that I constantly go at him at, but this is one of those times where I'm just like, I don't see it. I don't agree. And I think he went about it the wrong way. And now here's the thing. I don't think that he hasn't experienced it in pro wrestling, the idea of racism. I think he has. I just don't think he's experienced it in the WWE because he's been there for all of 5 days. It's really hard for me to look at Mark Henry and Booker T and the New Day, and to think that these cats who have been there for in instances decades. Mark Henry's been there since 1995 or 96, and he's still there nearly 30 years later. It's hard for me to think that Mark Henry, who's as important a figure, and I always kind of just chuckle when I think about that because I still remember him from '06 just being garbage as a performer. And I think about him now, and he's earned every right to be called a legend. If he hasn't walked out, then, who's ACH to walk out? So my thought is, most of the stuff ACH has gone through has to be pre-WWE, and this was just the last straw, even if it was the first incident. So I empathize with his emotional standpoint where he's just had enough, but I feel like he's emotionally immature and he lashed out at the wrong people, and there's a lot better ways to have handled this. But I do think he's going to get released because there's apparently a rumor going around. I don't remember if it was a Meltzer rumor or what, that the WWE is going to start granting releases as long as wrestlers are willing to sign a exit agreement, saying that they will not go to Company A or Company B or perform with TV Network C. So it's very likely that right. So it's very possible that if you agree not to go to AEW or New Japan, they'll let you out of your deal. Now for ACH, that doesn't mean a lot because I think with ACH, he's going to have a hard time finding work because he's now shown to be very, very unpredictable. And the last thing you want when you are a entertainment entity is to have a commodity that is unpredictable. That's dangerous. Now, I think when you look at something like House of Glory, they've got Master P now in charge. I think he'd be a lot more receptive to ACH's plights than most. So I think, ACH could easily still find work, but, ACH isn't going to be going to Ring of Honor. I don't know if Impact would take a risk on him. They've taken a risk on worse. Looking at you, Elgin.
Facts.
Even Moose, he was accused of domestic violence, and Rich Swann. So it's ACH. In grand scheme of things, it's just kind of angry compared to the other guys who have been accused of felonies. I don't know. The angry guy seems a lot safer of a hire. He might say bad things about you. Oh, no. I got 3 guys on the roster that might beat their wives at any moment. I don't know. I'm just saying. What seems like the safer option? Now, that being said, I still don't think ACH is really all that specifically impressive as a talent. I was surprised when he got signed in the first place. I told you that. I was like, I don't know. He's no Caprice Coleman. And Caprice Coleman's still unsigned, stuck in that fucking shit show that is Ring of Honor. God, I feel bad for Caprice. He's a minister as well, isn't
he? Yeah, I think he is.
Well, at least he's got that going for him. At least God likes him. At least God signed him to his team. Is that blasphemous? I feel like that's blasphemous. Judah Maccabee was like, "Hey, Caprice, you want to come play for our team?" And Caprice was like, "I don't look good in those little hats." That's blasphemous. That's blasphemous. I just wanted to make sure if I'm going to go down for it, I'm going down for it without any doubt. So also names like Luke Harper. Who else? Mike Bennett. It was probably going to be released as well, if this rumor's true. Sin Cara. Now, Sin Cara is probably going to be able to go wherever he wants because he doesn't want to keep wrestling. He wants to go into MMA. And I don't see why the WWE would have an issue with Sin Cara going to MMA because he wants to go to Combates America, which is the Alberto El Patron promotion. And they've been signing a lot of Lucha Libre pro wrestlers turned MMA stars. Sexy Star. I want to call her Cobra Moon. That's not the name. Thunder Rosa. Alberto El Patron himself is signed with them. So it would make sense that Patron's good friend, what's his name? Hunico, would end up going to combates as well. So we'll see what happens there. And a new name, as you see on the screen, is Oni Lorcan, the former Biff Busick. I'm a little surprised that he wants to be released because I didn't even know he was still with the company. I was perplexed. I was like, wait, what? He hasn't retired? Oh, well, all right. So you have all these names going on. And I think they should all get their release. ACH, Bennett, Sin Cara, Oni. Let them go and find their own way. I think Oni would be great in Impact, but he'd probably end up in MLW, which would be a good fit for him as well. By the by, Marcus, did you see the last 2 weeks of MLW show?
No, I haven't.
Hoo-hoo-hoo! They had a
They're
tag
cooking,
team
huh?
match. Oh, Marcus, I love the MMA pro wrestling infusion. So I'm very much a fan. They had a Tim Thatcher, Davey Boy Smith Jr. match that was banging. And 2 weeks ago, they had Myron Reed and Teddy Hart for the middleweight title, which was pretty good. But before that, they had just a smash of a match with Loki and who was it? Oh God, Tim Thatcher. Oh, Marcus, Timothy Thatcher and Loki might make the late run for match of the year. It was pretty fucking good. Oh, this is good. Just good stuff. Violent, Marcus. That match was just violent. I don't know why the middleweight title went after that because it was 20 minutes of violence. Woo. It's just good stuff. So, I think they're all going to get the release. I think they all have a place to go. I think ACH would be very well off in House of Glory. Masterpiece seems to really want to put some money and effort into it, and having a star like ACH who is as widely talked about and polarizing would be a really good start because it would bring some attention to him. By the by, Myron Reed, after he won the middleweight title, said free ACH. Yeah. So, MLW gives 0 fucks. I appreciate that. But the two big names that I was a little bit surprised that Dave Meltzer said could leave. Now, Marcus, this is a could leave situation. Not that they will. A could. Kairi Sane and Io Shirai could be leaving the WWE. Yeah, that's what I said. So the story goes that now that the New Japan parent company owns Stardom, that they want to invest more money into the promotion because it's a very big, it has the potential to be a very big deal. And one of those things they want to do is bring back former stars, Io Shirai and Kairi Sane. Now, the idea is that they haven't been used that well, and especially Kairi Sane is very interested in seeing what her worth is outside of the WWE. So it's very possible that they returned to Japan. Now, some people will point to Shinsuke Nakamura. His deal was up, and he decided to re-sign with the WWE. The difference there is, though, that Shinsuke had a family. He has children, and they relocated their entire lives to Florida. So to go back to Japan would be a lot to ask of a family that just got settled into their new life. Kairi Sane and Io Shirai don't have the same obligations. So it's very possible that they could go back. But Marcus, you're looking at some really talented individuals. Your Oni Larkins, your ACHs, your Mike Bennett's, your Luke Harper's, and now Io Shirai and Kairi Sane. Is the writing on the wall? Is this WCW 2000 reincarnate?
I mean, as a fan, the writing's been on the wall for a while. I think they're just catching up to the curve.
Mm-hmm.
They made Shinsuke Nakamura look pedestrian. And as did they with Asuka, who was hot for a while, and then she came to the main roster, and you would have never known that she was even a force of anything in NXT. And Kairi Sane, the same. So, and when it comes to like ACH and other guys, look, we talk about this all the time. They got enough people on the main rosters, and like they're just hoarding talent in their performance. They don't actually need these guys. They just want to hold on to them. To just say that they have them.
Mm-hmm.
And and it's it will free up a lot of it will free up a lot of money. We're going to put elsewhere, um, and I mean it would be doing these talent a service by allowing them to go and take their prime years, or some who may be past their prime, and finishing their career how they want to, having matches and doing what their character in their control. So it's not really surprising. I would say it was kind of felt like it was going through that AEW effect where it was just literally um, hurling money at these folks. And when a lot of these guys, and we talked about it before, when they get used to a certain lifestyle, it's kind of hard to drop that off, because for a lot of these talent, they're not going to see that type of money when they leave, going elsewhere. So I understand that, but again, if you actually love this sport and you want to do anything of relevance with it, and you tie the main event and catering, you got to kind of step out on faith to a sense. So it's all gonna be dependent on if the company really just wants to let these guys go, because you know, nobody can be Petty LaBelle in this industry more like WWE. So
Are you saying that they're all a bunch of Tom Petties?
yeah,
So the thing that I think is really interesting about all this is it's going to cause a ripple effect, and talent are now going to be looking at the WWE who haven't signed there yet with a different perspective. You can't keep ignoring legitimate criticisms of the promotion if you're a talent. Because we're at this point now where either you value an exorbitant amount of money or you value creativity and freedom and happiness. I'm getting tired of these individuals signing with this company and then going, I'm so upset with how I'm being treated. Motherfucker, you've been around this industry for 30 years. How do you not know how you're going to be treated? Do you think it's a gag, a goof? Do you think it's a flim flam? That people are just fucking with you when they tell you how bad it is there? Shit, Josh Matthews is still having post-traumatic stress disorder from being yelled at by Vince McMahon in the air. Like, Don Callis even jokes about it, that Josh has never been a good announcer since leaving the WWE because he doesn't know what to do because he's so afraid to get yelled at, and no one's yelling at him in Impact. Now, granted, he hasn't been good for, like, when did he enter the business? 2001, so his whole life.
well, well, technically that's not true. We're yelling at him, but he can't hear us.
Oh, he can hear us. He just chooses not to. But, like, that's the thing. Like, Mick Foley literally quit the WWE on the spot because he was tired of Vince yelling in his ear. These aren't jokes. We don't make this up for fun. Vince is the problem. He's always been the problem. He had like 7 years out of 40 that were super successful. And people want to think that he's this god. He's not. He saw Hulk Hogan getting super popular in Minnesota and signed him. That's not a hard thing to do. What's the equivalent? Oh, I don't know. The Lakers signing LeBron? Could you imagine if the Lakers said, God, when we signed LeBron, we really made his career. No one knew who he was before he landed in LA. That's what the WWE said about Hogan. They've been lying to you for 35 fucking years. If you want to sign with them because you have this fucking fantasy about wrestling in the main event at goddamn WrestleMania, I'm going to give you a hint there, kid. It ain't going to happen. So stop thinking it's going to. Start worrying about building a legacy and not trying to be part of a machine. I'm so tired of these wrestlers going, hey, I'm so sad. You knew it was going to happen. We told you it was going to happen. This isn't new. Why am I so mad? The Browns won this week. Oh, yeah, Myles Garrett tried to kill someone. Never mind. I remember now. By the by, Shad Grimgrave, he said, Mia Yim isn't a Clack or a Borean, she's a Blasian. I think that's fair.